KSVOV was involved in a triple homicide along with another civilian and a member of Hell's Angels, the bikie gang. And this is what he had to say at the beginning of his hearing.
Let me make this clear one more time before I sit down. My hand was not in this, all right? My hand wasn't in this. But if anybody thinks I'm going to hang my head today and beg for mercy, they're just as deluded in their thinking as that jury of my peers who convicted me of this.
KS took part in the triple homicide in an attempt to become a member of the notorious bikie gang Hell's Angels. KS has horns implanted in his face and has a tattoo with 666 on his body. Here is what KS and his accomplices were like at their final court appearances.
Yeah, I'll see you all in hell, Louis, remember that. Every one of you, I'll see you in hell.
Over there at the house on Sunday afternoon to meet with you.
20 miles away at a barbecue.
The colleague will say no more during the remainder of the closing argument. You may proceed, Mr. Case.
And most important, those records, an analysis of them, and the test drive together also corroborate that the defendant was at the scene of the burial on Monday morning.
KS was sentenced to 3 life sentences for the 3 lives him and his accomplices had taken. Next up, we have Nico Jenkins. Now, he didn't look this way before he was sentenced to death. Jenkins was in court for 4 murders. While he was in prison during his trial, Jenkins got hold of a razor and completely cut up his face. Do you think it was because of guilt? No. He said he cut himself up because he wanted to transfer prisons and would not stop until he was moved. Here, he is reacting to his sentencing.
Death. Count 2. Use of a deadly weapon, firearm to commit a felony, a class 1C felony, 45 to 50 years to run consecutive to all murder convictions at counts 1, 4, 7, and 10. Count 3, possession of a deadly weapon by a prohibited person, class 1D felony, 45 to 50 years to run consecutive to all murder convictions at counts 1, 4, 7, and 10, and count 2.
Nico got sentenced to death. Now we have a man that goes by the name Jamie Osana. He is known for following Satan. Jamie says he will kill whenever he sees the opportunity. He's been held accountable for more than 2 murders and his face tattoos make him stand out quite a lot.
Like one time, then I came back the next night and I seen opportunity, no one's there. You know, the Morocco Motel is, they got a lot of parolees right there. That parole there's a lot of people who do drugs, so if they're screaming and yelling and stuff like that, no one's gonna call the cops. No one's gonna intervene. Sadistically, premeditatedly, deliberately tortured and murdered Yvette Pena.
The fact that Jamie is saying all of this online shows that he's not afraid of anything. Jamie was sentenced to life without parole. Coming up next, we have Woody Smith. He was in court for murder. Woody has a bunch of tattoos on the back of his head. We all know what that means. On the day of his sentencing, Woody said this to the judge before the hearing proceeded.
Okay, I would just like to say this. I was told before I came here that my haircut might...
Please don't talk about your haircut, sir. Just
okay, I was told it would be disrespectful, but it's not disrespectful because I love my wife very much.
This is not about
Okay.
the jail or anybody else. This is about
Okay.
you. And
Okay.
I need to know what you want to tell me about this case.
Okay, what I want to tell you about this case, I understand what the jury have chosen, and I don't go against that because that's their decision, but I do not believe, and I know the Lord knows the true outcome of the things that happened. So I trust in the Lord, and just like when I decided to take this to trial, I trusted in the Lord, I still trust in the Lord. There's a reason that He's sending me to prison, and so be it. And I just want the court and everybody to know that I love my wife very much, and I would never hurt her. That's all I have to say.
Now we have a man that goes by the name Lawrence Sullivan. He is famously known for his face tattoos that resemble those of the Joker. Sullivan has been in and out of jails countless times. This time it was for carrying a firearm without a license.
The next one is, this is Lawrence Sullivan.
Present, Your Honor.
Pardon me? Oh, this is Mr. Sullivan? All right, good morning, Mr. Sullivan. You're charged with 1 count of carrying a concealed firearm. I've appointed the Public Defender's Office to represent you. I'm going to be taking a look at your arrest affidavit to see if there's probable cause and address your bond status, sir.
Your Honor, I'm being told that Mr. Sullivan has declined the services of the public
Is
defender.
declining services. Is that correct, sir?
She's talking to you. She's asking if
You don't want the public defender's office to represent you?
I mean, you can represent me, but I'm trying to get bonded out, my honor.
Well, they're there to help you, sir. You don't have a lawyer.
All right.
I mean, okay, so,
I didn't even feel like signing the paperwork. I'm really not in the mood for that.
okay, well,
I'll
you're,
take
you're,
it.
you're in custody, okay? You're charged with carrying concealed firearm, which if convicted has some serious consequences.
Sullivan didn't get life in prison, but he did get held on $5,000 bail.